Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of ARA, Anxiety Recovery with Albert. If you're new here or you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Millie Albert. Albert is an ex-anxiety sufferer who uses her own experience of suffering and recovery to help others who are still struggling. If you have not yet subscribed yet, I will urge you to watch this video at the end. If you feel like this video is valuable or you want to see more of these videos on your timeline, kindly hit that subscription button. Otherwise, let's get started into the video. So I've talked about myths concerning anxiety before. If you have not yet watched that video, I'm gonna put the thumbnail here, myths about anxiety. But in this particular video, I want to talk about the truths about anxiety. There are basic principles to anxiety recovery. If you have been here for a long time, you know the basic principles to anxiety recovery. Then there are the high key levels to anxiety recovery. Apart from those, we also have the mindset. Your mindset also contributes largely to your recovery, also your attitude towards the symptoms. So these 6 truths that I want to talk about concerning anxiety, they may help you in how you see anxiety. You see anxiety as just a normal human emotion and not something that is dangerous or something that has come to, destroy your life. So let's begin with the first truth about anxiety. The first truth about anxiety is that it is a normal human emotion. That's what it is. Think of you pre-anxiety. Everyone has anxiety. Everyone in this world has anxiety, the normal type of anxiety. Everyone, because anxiety is a normal human emotion. When you want to do something for the first time, when you want to talk in front of a crowd, when you want to do this, these social media videos, you will experience anxiety. You will experience butterflies in your stomach. You will sweat. You will experience headaches. All these are anxiety as an emotion. The problem, whatever is happening is what your nervous system is designed to do. It happens automatically. We call them the first fear. That's what your nervous system is designed to do. We are human beings are built to handle stress. The problem only comes when you start fearing these symptoms, and when you fear these symptoms, you react in panic. That's what creates the disordered type of anxiety. Anxiety is a normal human emotion. It is only that you are struggling with the disorder type, of which if you gain knowledge about anxiety, if you understand what is happening, you will realize that you're the one keeping yourself stuck in the anxiety cycle by your behaviors. It's a loop. It's a loop that if you learn your behaviors that are contributing to the anxiety cycle, it will be able to stop. So anxiety is a normal human emotion. It happens automatically because that's what our nervous system is designed to do. Every time we are doing something for the first time, we are gonna experience anxiety. Our bodies react to overwhelming stress with anxiety. The problem came when you started fearing these symptoms and you reacted with panic, and that's what created the disordered type of anxiety. So right now, the symptoms are exaggerated, that anytime you hear the headache, every time you hear a slight dizziness, your mind is always just like, it is something else. It is this, because of how you have always reacted, because of your fear to these symptoms. So know that anxiety is a normal human emotion. It can't harm you. It can't hurt you. It can't lead to anything else. It is anxiety. The second truth about anxiety is that it can't make us do anything. That's what I talk about, the first fear and the second fear. The first fear is the automatic response by your nervous system. Anxiety can produce all those thoughts. It can produce all those strong emotions, but your response lies in your hands. You're the one to decide to either flee from the situation. You're the one to decide to fight, the symptom, to, resist the emotions. The response lies entirely in your hands. Anxiety cannot make you do anything. Let's say you are in a mall, or just being in a mall makes you anxious, or you experience a panic attack in a mall. When you are in the mall, anxiety is going to tell you to run away, do something about it, distract it. That's whatever action that you're going to take, it is entirely in your hands. Anxiety can only shout. The thoughts can only be as loud. The emotions can only be as loud. But the action that you're going to take is in your hands. Whether you decided to stay and create new neural pathways for your brain, or whether you decided to run away and strengthen the fear pattern in your brain, that's all up to you. Recovery lies entirely in your hands. That's why I always say, when someone says that I'm agoraphobic, I can't go out, anxiety is making me not to go out, it is you who is not going out. If you decide you want to go out, you will go. If you decide you want to do the things that you have been avoiding, you will do them. Anxiety cannot make you do anything. Whatever action, you are the one to decide if I want to stay or if I want to run away, if I want to fight, if I want to resist, or if I want to allow these symptoms to be there. So your action, your recovery relies entirely in your hands. Anxiety cannot make you do anything. The third truth about anxiety is that running away perpetuates the anxiety cycle. Something about anxiety is that you can't run away forever. When I was struggling with anxiety, I always wished that I could run away from myself, which is not possible. I was always running, but anxiety will always catch up with you. Maybe you're doing your things feverishly in a way to try and avoid anxiety, or in a way to try and run away from anxiety. It will always catch up with you. The best thing to do is sit with the anxiety. Stop running. Running away only reaffirms the brain that the fear is dangerous. Therefore, the next time you are at this place, the next time you are with your thoughts, the next time you experience the weird emotions, anxiety will always just tell you to run away. So running away will always perpetuate the anxiety cycle. Yes, you might get short-term relief from it, but long-term, you are only strengthening the fear patterns in your brain. So stop running and start facing. The fourth truth about anxiety is that facing it leads to less of it. The brain only learns through memory and experience. The opposite of facing anxiety is avoiding anxiety. So every time you avoid anxiety, you are only strengthening the fear patterns. You're showing the brain that really these symptoms are dangerous, because with anxiety, I've told you a couple of times that there is no real threat. The threat is your thoughts and your emotions. So every time you avoid anxiety, every time you avoid what needs to be felt, you are only showing that your brain that really this place is dangerous. If you avoid a place, you're showing the brain that this place is dangerous. If you avoid a situation, if you avoid your thoughts and emotions, you are only showing your brain that this place is dangerous. So anytime you go to these places, you are gonna face intense anxiety, because the subconscious part of your brain has kept the information, how you reacted. It had kept the information that these places are dangerous. So face what needs to be faced. Feel what needs to be felt. Facing your anxiety leads to less of it, because we are trying to train our brain. We are trying to retrain our brain to not keep sending us the false alarms. You don't need the false alarms. You're telling your brain to stop misfiring, because anytime you face, your fears, the brain sees that there is nothing dangerous there. So face what needs to be faced. Facing anxiety leads to less of it. The fifth truth about anxiety is that anxiety relies on you to determine if there is danger. The brain does not know between a real threat and a false threat. You are the one to show it. So you're the one to signal the brain. Anytime you react with panic, anytime you react with fear, you have reaffirmed the fear patterns in your brain. You have shown the brain that really there is danger. But anytime you respond with calm, you respond with courage, the brain realizes that there is no threat, and therefore it should stop misfiring. So anxiety relies on you to show it if the threat is real, if there is danger. The brain does not learn through logic. It does not learn through facts. It does not learn through words of affirmations. It only learns through actions. Your nervous system is keenly watching you on how you respond, on how you react. If you react with panic, you have reaffirmed the fear patterns in your brain. If you react with courage, the fear patterns have been weakened. So you are the one standing on the way. Show your brain how you want it to go. Show your brain how you want it to react. Show your brain that you don't need the alarms. The sixth and the last truth about anxiety is that anxiety is a problem solver. Your brain is always scanning for danger. Your brain is always looking for, certainty, because to your brain, uncertainty means danger. So it's always looking for certainty. That's why you find yourself, worrying about things that don't even make sense. You're always trying to mentally figure out things. You're always Googling your symptoms. You're always looking for reassurance. It is because the brain is always looking for certainty. It is always scanning. It is always looking to problem solve, even if there is nothing to solve. You find that you have this thought, you try and make it right, you ruminate about it, you try and solve it. After solving this specific thought, another thought pops up. After solving this, another thought pops up. So it's like a loop of you worrying, a loop of you solving, a loop of you looking for, reassurance. Anxiety will always problem solve. Once you learn about anxiety, once you understand what is happening, you will realize that overthinking only keeps you stuck with anxiety. All those things that you're doing, worrying about anxiety, seeking reassurance, solving anxiety, mentally figuring out things, only keeps you stuck with anxiety. You might feel like you're doing something, but there's nothing you're doing. You are only fueling the anxiety loop. You need to realize that anxiety will always be a problem solver, and the decision is always in your hands. I've talked about a certain point there that, anxiety can't make us do anything. Yes, it can't make you do anything. You're the one to decide whether you want to add second fears or not, because anxiety will always try to problem solve, but you're the one to decide, do I really need to problem solve? Do I need to worry about this thing? Do I need to solve? Do I need to figure out? The decision is in your hands. So those are the 6 truths about anxiety. If you have watched up to this point, can you kindly comment down below some of the truths that you can relate with? Share this video to other people who may need it. Subscribe because it helps the channel grow, and also a thumbs up for this video. Like this video. Otherwise, let's meet on the next one.